Welcome, Lindsay. Lindsay is the Director of Digital Strategy and Planning for Walgreens. In her current role, she's focused on driving digitally influenced sales and delivering a best-in-class omnichannel experience with Walgreens. In addition, Lindsay plans, leads, and executes various strategic Walgreens omnichannel programs and digital marketing initiatives, and she's been with Walgreens for 15 years, plus 15 years. Congratulations. And previously managed the photo business. As we all know, that has been reinvented to digital over the years. So welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, good morning, almost good afternoon. Just want to say thank you for welcoming me back this year. I'm excited to present to all of you and then dive into some questions you may have after I wrap up the presentation. So with that, I'll share my screen and we can get started. 1 second. Sorry, you guys, give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure the Zoom video comes up as well. Okay, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. All right. So yeah, let's dive right into it. I want to begin today's presentation just bringing you back to two core principles that Walgreens was founded on back in our early days. First is customer centricity. So here's a quick quote from our founder, Charles Walgreens, that every customer is a guest in our store and should be treated as such. And then also innovation. So the stores will be opening a year from now, having the features, sorry, let me move this screen so I can see my slides. I'm apologizing, hang on 1 second. The stores will be opening 6 months or a year from now, can reflect the newest features of which we are aware today. But by then there will be other new things and those things will be obsolete. So really just a lot of what I'm going to talk to you today about is a lot of the innovation that we've done in the past couple of months in response to COVID. And I thought that these were two important quotes, just bringing us back that this has always been core to what we do here at Walgreens, and that's held true, and most importantly, in the recent months as a response to COVID. So we have a track record of launching, customer experiences, right, that are based on innovation. And I'll share with you, highlight a few on this timeline right here, but starting back in the early 90s with drive-thru prescriptions, and then fast forwarding into the 2000s where we launched our flagship and award-winning mobile app. Quickly then followed by, refill by scan, which for those of you that are Walgreens customers, highly recommended if you haven't used it, but a very fast and innovative way to refill your scripts. Then going on into 2012, where we launched our our Balance Rewards loyalty program. So really, really exciting move for us back then, and has done a lot of great things in terms of getting us the right customer data and insights to offer more personalized experiences that you'll see coming to life today. And then in 2018, launched Walgreens Find Care, which is a great way, and I'll touch on this a little bit later, for giving our customers a digital access to finding the care that they need. And with all of the great services Walgreens has and across our 8,600 stores, we needed a portal to be able to quickly navigate customers and give them the access they need. And then a couple of new ones here in 2020, and I'll talk more in detail about this on the coming slides, but we quickly launched in market an ability to offer products through our drive-thru, and I'll cover that in a bit more detail on the next slides. But I think the point here is, we have a track record of innovation and we continue to innovate. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about where I left off on the last slide, and you can see some of the visuals we brought to life. But we began actually in response to COVID offering a curated list of items, is about 1,000 items across our 7,300 drive-throughs in March, the ability for customers to order ahead and pick those items up. And then in May, we continued to expand that offering, allowing customers to choose curbside pickup. So that was a really big change for us, and we did that very quickly. So, basically from what started in March, by the time in July, we had rolled out contactless same day curbside and drive-through pickup across 8,600 stores. So that is a really, really exciting accomplishment and a milestone that we did in, I said, the matter of weeks to really build that and deploy it. In addition, we've also further expanded our convenience platform. We teamed up with both Postmates and DoorDash. So you might have seen in recent press releases, we have a national presence with Postmates. So offering customers who are on those platforms to be able to access a curated set of products for on-demand delivery to their home. And those deliveries are happening as fast as 30 to 45 minutes. In addition, we've also teamed up with DoorDash, which is another partnership of ours, to also give those customers the same access to those curated items and delivering to their home in less than 30 to 45 minutes. In addition, Find Care now and some of the stuff on more of the health side of the business, but we knew we had to support people during this critical time. So we launched additional tools and resources on Walgreens Find Care, including a COVID-19 risk assessment tool. So that was powered by our partnership with Microsoft and their healthcare bot service, which helped users determine the risk of COVID based on the CDC guidelines. So really great tool so that they could then get guidance on if they needed to go get a test, which we've opened up a ton of testing facilities at our Walgreens locations as well. And then just one other piece I wanted to touch on is just we've always had virtual telemedicine, but we actually partnered very quickly to scale these capabilities within weeks. So we knew as a result of all the shutdowns in March, we needed to get people access to tests and diagnoses so they could get treatment for minor illnesses, et cetera. So our ability to scale that very quickly allowed us to kind of meet our customers where they are in this new virtual world that kind of rapidly evolved in response to COVID. So I showed you the first timeline, which was kind of, what has happened over the long course of our history. But here's a more recent timeline on what we've done just in a matter of months, right? This is a snapshot from March through June. But as a result of all the COVID, the COVID behavior, we saw a big increase of consumer adoption of all of our digital offerings. And so what we needed to do was really accelerate our digitalization efforts even further. And really what that meant, again, like I mentioned a few, and I'll call out here, expanding the Postmates offering nationwide. We stood up an additional e-commerce DC to meet the increased demand that we were seeing come through on Walgreens.com. We launched our drive-thru microsite, which was able to give those customers a curated set of items and pick them up through their drive-thru for a contactless safe shopping experience. We added some more DC capabilities so that, again, we could keep up with the demand coming through. In May, we rolled out curbside, which I talked to you earlier. We also then in June converted our roto. So that is our traditional circular that has been in the stores for a long, long time. And that is now 100% digital. So again, really just getting customers, and meeting them where they are in this digital shift. We had to do a lot of work really, really quickly. And then you'll see most recently on June 9th, we announced our partnership with DoorDash, and that is actually in the process of expanding to new markets as happening this week. So all that said, I want to kind of shift gears here a little bit and talk more about the customer's expectations and the demand for these digital capabilities. So they're continuing to grow, right? And you can see a couple of key stats here. 63% of goods that are now being purchased online that they never expected they would buy there. 42% share of e-commerce orders from buy online, pick up in store. And 79% of BOPIS customers expecting to sustain an increased level of usage. So we know that their behavior has changed, and I think it's here to stay. People are becoming more acclimated to shopping in a digital first way, and then everything that comes with that is just more convenient, safe ways to shop. And probably one of my favorite stats is the 150% increase in buy online, pickup in store orders. So super, super exciting growth. You guys, if you follow, Target and Walmart and a lot of their earnings, a lot of the growth attributed to their same day pickup programs and as well as their on-demand delivery. So really, really exciting to see the customers shift in behavior and really adapting these new services. And that's important for us because if you take a look at why people are choosing or where they're choosing to place their click and collect orders, this is a survey from IRI, but you can see highlighted in the chart below. The three key reasons that we've highlighted, right, is drive up option, which we have and is a key differentiator for us with over 7,600 drive-thrus nationwide. It's my go-to store, another key differentiator for us because we have that personal relationship with our customers that's grounded in the pharmacist and the pharmacy, that our patients come to trust and come back with, but also all of our employees that really bring that experience to life day in and day out. And then the store is closest to my house. So, over 80% of the population lives within, I believe it's 3 miles of a Walgreens. So we really, really kind of win in these three buckets. And that's really important because we know that we have a unique advantage as we forge ahead in this kind of new era of the increased shift to digital, the accelerated shift. It was always happening. It just got accelerated quite a bit in the last couple of months. So with that, I want to share with you guys some exciting news. So I talked about in early May in the summer months, we launched kind of what I would like to call an MVP, minimum viable product, to get something out the door quickly where the team worked cross-functionally, we built it, and we deployed it in a matter of weeks. Well, that's been going great, but now it's time to really enhance, integrate, and iterate on the program. And that's exactly what we've been up to the last couple of months. So very exciting news, but we are launching a new and improved pickup program in the weeks ahead. And it's really focused on delivering ultimate convenience for our customers through a couple key features. Number one, and probably most importantly, is an integrated site and mobile app experience. So the one that I spoke to earlier on the timeline was what we call kind of a microsite and a bit disjointed from our entire Walgreens.com ecosystem. That's about to change, as you'll see in the coming weeks, and it'll be much more integrated to our Walgreens.com site and as well as our award-winning mobile app. So much more seamless for the customer. In addition, we're going way beyond just, a very curated set of about 1,000 items. We're going to be opening up in basically our entire store. So as we think about that, there's been a lot of, challenges working through getting this all ready to go, right? There's adult beverage and age-restricted items, thinking about that. DSD, so direct store delivery, right, for consumables and milk. And Walgreens plays a really important role in customers' lives, being that fill-in trip. And we're able to, capitalize on those trips and be able to give her a safe and easy shopping experience. But we needed to make sure we got all those items online. So that's been, a lot of hard work over the past couple of months. But if you think about Walgreens prior to this, we don't sell milk and we don't sell soda and those types of things online for a pure play, e-commerce business. But when you start unlocking the power of our 8,600 stores, those are key items that need to be set up and made available to be purchased online. So a lot of great work by the team, but I don't want to underestimate it, especially for you folks as coming from the grocery space. There's a lot of work that goes into that and making sure you've got the right content, ingredients, and so forth represented on your digital shelf, as we like to call it. And then I guess the other big part of it is offering her customer choice and fulfillment. So you can see here, and I spoke about it earlier, but we have a unique advantage with drive-thrus and our curbside shopping. So we are going to let the customer pick what's convenient for them, and they don't have to pick until they're ready to go get their order, right? So that's a big exciting piece for us, is that it's easy for customers to shop with us, and if they want to go inside to grab it, or they want to use curbside, or they want to use the drive-thru, it's ultimately up to them in letting us know which way is most convenient for them. And then doing this with speed. So we know, the typical Walgreens trip is about 8 minutes or less. So we really have to deliver a best-in-class experience here and getting customers in and out of our parking lots, right, as fast as possible. And we have a unique advantage to be one of the fastest in the market. And that's really important for us as we think about convenience, right? Because if you're able to go to other mass retailers and get in and out, we really have to narrow in on, well, how much faster can we do that and still delivering best-in-class end-to-end experience. And most importantly, it's free, right? So we don't believe in any hurdles or anything. So offering this service to our customers, of course, at no charge, and especially as the future's a bit unknown here on spikes and lockdown situations and whatnot. So we just want to have flexibility to make sure that we can get our customers in and out and get them what they need. So with that, I want to kind of end my presentation with a quick video that will hopefully bring to life what we think about when we talk about an enhanced pickup program. And let me just make sure I got it. So my video is going to play. 1 minute. So with that concludes the rest of my presentation, and I know we have some time for Q&A, so I wanted to make sure we had enough time to cover any questions you guys may have.
Great, thank you, Lindsay. I wanted to say too, Walgreens has done an amazing job of being that neighborhood resource for health and wellness, for treatment, and they've done an amazing job adapting to locals, but also, virtually, right? So it doesn't matter how close the nearest Walgreens is, you can still use them as a resource, which has been amazing. I just checked and my closest Walgreens is 0.5 miles from my house, and it has definitely been a frequent stop for us, especially when we were on lockdown. So thank you for everything you're doing in that organization to serve the consumer. So Chuck, I think we have a couple of questions. You want to serve one up?
We do. And hey, Lindsay, I'm in Hanover, Pennsylvania. We could use a Walgreens. So remember that. So, hey, we learned earlier that pickup is like the least costly option for retailers to implement. So how is Walgreens managing the cost of multiple pickup programs?
So I want to make sure I understand the question in terms of, what do you mean in terms of multiple pickup programs? So I guess maybe to be clear, we will kind of shift from what we have out there today, which was what I referred to as kind of our MVP, and that will actually just transition to what is this new amplified integrated experience. So we won't necessarily operate most or multiple pickup programs, unless you're referring to more on the on-demand delivery partnerships. Maybe I could just get a little bit of clarity there. Is that what you were talking about, is like the Postmates and DoorDash relationship, and then what we're going to do from our own offering?
Yeah, let's go there, because I can't get total clarity being we're digital.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So no, I mean, hey, listen, at the end of the day, we have 8,600 stores, right? And if you think about what, Amazon and others are doing, is we need to leverage that asset to the best of the ability, and it's closest to customers. And so as you think more long-term on just overall fulfillment strategy, right now we only have, like I said, and you saw on the previous slide, limited number of DCs to serve our digital customer, but we can really lean in heavily on our stores to be able to kind of fill that need and be doing what is kind of local fulfillment in the future state. So this will start as pickup, but actually, as you see, and from other retailers that have shared this, the costs when they're filling from their store have they've been able to decrease their costs significantly. I think Target specifically talked about a lot of the savings that went into that when they're able to redirect orders efficiently and effectively to be filled out of the nearest store versus a central DC. So there's that aspect of it. But in terms of like the on-demand delivery and the DoorDash and Postmates, those ones will operate together. So I do believe that, there is a bit difference in terms of the customer use cases for some of that, right? So traditionally on DoorDash and Postmates, it's a bit more convenience driven. They predominantly play in the food space. When they use it for Walgreens, yes, there's definitely a health and wellness aspect for somebody who's feeling sick, etc. Our pickup program will resonate really well for customers there too. So if you think about coming through the drive-thru and getting your prescription, and then also getting any other retail items that go along with that, right? Then in terms of over-the-counter medications, we are really well positioned to deliver that. On the DoorDash side of things, yes, those will continue to operate independently, and those orders will come through. But of course, long term, there's always ways to further optimize as the demand comes through. And I think we'll continuously evaluate that to make sure we're setting it up in the right way that is going to drive our cost to fill down from a retail side of things.
Okay. And then, as you incorporate the enhanced pickup, you got a lot of CPG partners sitting here with a lot of digital assets. So what do you need from us to help y'all implement that in a way that can, take it to the next level right out of the gate?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And, I think a couple of things. One, I think definitely, the partnership up front with the CPG companies, just in terms of, and I know it goes back to the basics, and I can't stress it enough. We have the discussions a lot on internally, but like item setup and making sure we're getting the items in the pipeline, right? Like digital should be the ones that have the items set up first. And sometimes that doesn't happen. And sometimes we're trailing the stores getting the items set up. And that's the reverse of what should happen. And especially in a pickup business, like we can definitely lead in that space. And in terms of value and promotion and personalized offers. So I think there's a lot we can do, but we've got to make sure we start with the basics of getting the items set up. And it sounds, like a boring answer, but it is core, and it's top of mind with all of our discussions with our key strategic suppliers is like step one. And then of course, step two is like, yeah, let's make sure we're continuing to partner, and we can now, as more people are shifting their shopping behavior to online, and this has always been true, but like, let's build the basket together, right? So, coming into Walgreens, you're picking up that fill and trip, but if you're going to have maybe just a couple more minutes of planning, we can really work to bring together an experience with key insights from the supplier side on rounding out that basket and making sure we're driving up the size of those orders, which benefits everybody.
Thank you. Great.